Okay, again, I'm going to show what instructions are being modified. As you can see, that's link's position, that's the position of the bobbing up and down. When I place this down, it should change a little, but not much. And those instructions now stay in place. But the main point here being that we can modify instructions themselves, not pointers, not array indexes. This is an offset from the stack pointer, right? So that's a load instruction that gets modified here. These instructions, the position of the held object, are most of the time garbage, which is the main problem. But this isn't garbage. You can load a value into S1. I forgot what S1 is exactly used for, but there's an immediate return afterwards. So theoretically, if we could move this slightly down or up and modify this, then we can modify the return address with various values. The problem here being it's pretty much you can do whatever, right? It's limited, obviously, but it's not that limited, you know. It's kind of good since link's position gets copied into two places apparently, not just one, and the second place is more useful because we can because that's a bigger offset. It's like B0 if we check, right? It's B4, yeah, exactly, B4 as an offset. So we have a lot of room to modify individual instructions without breaking many things if we place link's position high enough so that you can see I can modify I can simply modify the write, the offset of a write, and the base is used V0, which is, if I remember correctly, that's the return value from a function, and here it's loaded with a variable. And because it's used as an offset, it's probably a valid offset. Or it may not be even, well, this is a function, should be. This is the closing, this is the epilogue, and it jumps here, but we don't care. We don't care because we can store a value from int 0. At least in this case, I'm gonna probably present a lot more cases of this on my channel later. But as a summary, you can see I can modify instructions pretty comfortably with just link's rotation, and I can choose from the easy ones like targeting a wall, putting a 0, which is almost always valid, high, down, I can choose a range, it's pretty big. I'm turning a little bit. So 32,000, okay, so it's not 65,000, but it's because it's sign extended, it's in both directions. So you can choose what to write, where to write. In some cases we could even modify what to write, depending if I manage to find a good position for link's position, the bobbing up and down, and when I place this down, it's going to write zeros because of link's 0 position on the right. If you can see, it's cut off. So here, this one on the left, there's a 0, when I place this down, I'm going to modify certain instructions to be just 0, which is a no-op. As you can see, that changed here. And a no-op is always a valid instruction. So what happened here is that I simply probably modified some parameters, right? I removed the load here and the load here. I'm not sure if this is a valid code address. It doesn't really seem much like it to me, but it probably is, otherwise, you know, it would crash. I don't know what this function is, so I cannot tell you the effects of this, because there is no effect, because I have no idea what to do to trigger this. But the point is, this gets modified easily, the offset, and supposing like I place this down now, and this is the current state. And I think it has something to do with this part, because previously I managed to just crash it, which I will show as well. I hope this is not going to be too long, but I will show this as well, how it's crashing. And I know for a fact that there's code here, because I can reload this, which is another thing I wanted to mention. Right, this is reloaded, and it's completely something else got loaded apparently. Yeah, shifted because of the bomb, I guess. Oh, hang on. Let's place this down. Let's not mess too much with this. Not unloaded. Okay, this is loading something else, which is good, which is very good. I can modify this further, so I know for a fact that nothing gets changed much here. Yep, depending on which loading zone apparently. And you can see that the original instruction was T062612. Right, this is what we modified, and the ones up here as well as the ones somewhere here, between the somewhere here. These got busted completely. You can check. Right, these instructions got busted. But this one, ironically, is also valid. It's loading based on the SP. And I'm going to show you also that it's not really that bad in terms of links position, because there's quite interesting results if you find the right position. As you can see, I made some weird instruction. I'm not sure if this is a valid instruction. Probably not. But maybe it is, I don't know. This should be an offset. And here, maybe if we found a better place for this, for doing this, I can change registers somewhat arbitrarily. I can change the instruction here with links position and this register and this register. They stay the same. What's changing is this. I don't have control over this. So in certain cases where this is not very relevant, or if I can find a no-op equivalent for this, where it doesn't really matter what the value here is, then maybe this would be doable, but I can't do much with this. This one's completely busted, and it's the exposition, I think. And I've tried a lot to find the right instruction. As you can see, I'm just walking around randomly. DMFC. PCT TLD. I can't find a proper instruction for that one. Not in this room, at least, anyway. Another thing I wanted to show is I'm going to go out because I noticed something else got loaded. I'm gonna go out with holding the thing still. As you can see, it's well, sort of. It's still in his hands, you can see. And something else gets loaded. So now we have something completely different. Still holding the thing. He didn't drop it because probably thought that this was a valid pointer. And the same thing repeats down here. As you can see, we are now modifying, we're now loading directly the return value. So the return value here is loaded from this. So I can load whatever value into array what I want based on the offset. And I just left and came back in the room. This is not specific in any really complicated way. This is just me following a tutorial very badly because I didn't care, because I kind of know that it doesn't matter that much to illustrate this. So I can load the return value here. If this is even a, it could be data. I don't know. This could just be data. So don't take my word for it for this specific case. I'm trying to figure out if this is data or not, but I have a feeling it's not data. Must be. Modifying that, but this might just be data. I'm not sure. This looks valid. Hold on, any BD, that's valid. This looks valid. This is pretty valid. This looks pretty okay. It looks like code, normal code. And I get to override the return value. See what happens if I load the value from minus, right? Something completely random. Of course, we're placing it down for NOPs, and I have no idea what this is going to change, but I don't know how to trigger the code yet. But the point is that with a little bit more time I'll be able to trigger the code too. So in summary, this is an illustration of modifying instructions with just SRM. And I have another example here where the code gets called, but I couldn't find a proper position. But let me try loading and reloading. Let's see what happens here. It changed again. Let's see if this crashes. This doesn't crash anymore, okay. So this crashes, right? It doesn't matter what I do. Okay, so this didn't crash yet. So it was probably something else that crashed. Which one was it that crashed? Okay. Sorry, this is the one that crashes, I hope. Yeah, okay. That's the one that crashes. That's a different address. This is going to be long because because how finicky this whole thing is. And here, am I holding something? Yeah. Let's go down to like 50. You should see this here. Nope. Did I type the address correctly? 1E9. Correct. Dun, 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 dun. Sorry, but this is taking so long. Where is this? 970. I should see it here. Oh, okay, there it is. Again, reloading a return value somehow accidentally and placing this down. I'm just gonna place other things. Problem is, it still crashes, right? I don't know what exactly gets called. It seems to be related to the position of the guy or camera or something, I don't know. So let's add nothing, right? So that we can observe. Or was this further up? I think it was very, very far up. Yeah, here it is. That's FE0. 8. E18FD. You can see the same problem. Moving further, and here I can write again T0, which in this case is actually 255, or should be at least, because it gets loaded here. So that's 1 byte definitely loaded, and this stores 2 bytes. A word, or was wait. A word is 4 bytes, right? So 4 bytes. So, and I get to control where this gets written. Again with an offset. Because link's position only overrides the lower half of the instruction. Meaning that in instructions like these, a lot of instructions will end up being valid. With just this. All I need to do now to create a proper proof of concept is to just find a memory location that doesn't really include these, or find a place where I can modify these however I want. So I don't have to fiddle around with these positions. BCTF. And you know, it's doable. Our instruction seems to be changing quite wildly, and here, oh boy. Well, anyway, here it's somewhat stable, but it probably wouldn't work because obviously these are not good instructions. But we can change the offset. You could call this, I mean theoretically, in C code, this could be an offset to a structure or even a point, even an array index, but the point is that it's an instruction, not an address. Right? We're not modifying an address. We're not modifying an address, we're not modifying a pointer, we're not modifying, we're modifying an address, we're not modifying indexes, like 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. It's modifying the instructions directly with the rotation. So if you consider this to be an index, then you're wrong. This is not an index. Indexes are in single digits usually, unless you have a really big array. Here I'm reloading the other part of the thing to get a different function. Let's see if this crashes. Nope, this doesn't crash anymore, so plus 90. And we should see the other ones too. Yeah, LH, that's probably not a valid. Maybe it is, I don't know. Who knows? I'm not that fluent in MIPS. But this doesn't look proper. That oh, I don't know, okay? I don't know, I'm not sure. I don't know what LHU is, but we can again modify the offset of an instruction of a probably some load half word upper. Right, I guess that's what it is. And placing this down will create zeros somewhere. So if I go back a little, yeah, probably one of these two, where you can see this because it always leaves one instruction and leave like there's a gap, right? You can usually identify it like this. So in this case, if something was being modified here, if I reload this, sorry that this is so long, I have to explain a lot of stuff. Then that, yeah, we eliminated a branch, 2 branches. We eliminated 2 subroutines, possibly, or a jump back, if this is a valid instruction. I'll have to look for a function declarator. Okay, so it is a function apparently. F14. So it's up here somewhere. The start of the function should be here. Here it is. F14. Oh, that's not it. Hang on. F14. Oh, yeah. Okay, here it is. Yeah. This is an epilogue. 3e. This is an epilogue. This is a return from function. This is a no-op, probably for padding, and this is this exactly. So the highlighted blue in there, this is this function. So 40 bytes on the stack get allocated for local variables, and then you store stuff into the variables, etc. Yeah, it goes down there, does some calculations with it, whatever, right? We can change some parts of it. So the goal, my goal will be to just modify this somewhat, the lower bytes here. So that's minus 40, or maybe just this, I don't know. And break the function, but not destroy it. So whatever this is, because I can't trigger it in any way. I don't know how to trigger it. Maybe it's ocarina songs. Oh, did he disappear? He disappeared. Was he there? Okay, so he's there. So he's there, and now he's not. Pardon. Okay, again, hang on. To load this properly. So he's there. And he's still there. Okay, I'm an idiot. I don't know what I thought. It's recorded. I'll check. Okay. This is pretty much all I wanted to do right now. And if this is what you've been doing anyway, then I'll try to find a position for Link to construct better functions, better instructions. It's already too long, sorry. Okay, I'm turning this off. Have fun, guys. I'm gonna mess with this further.